I found Neville Goddard's secret formula in his book that's going to help you manifest fast. Stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel, Sexy Fit Love with me, JFO. Sexy is your vision, fit is your habits, and love is your commitment. And I want you to make sure you subscribe so you know when I come with a new video every single week. I have read Neville Goddard's full collection and I'm rereading it, and I'm going slow because every single sentence and paragraph is just gold. And I want to talk today about what is Neville's true manifestation secret. Why is everyone so obsessed with Neville when it comes to conscious creation? And it's because of his amazing process called SATS, a state akin to sleep. And if you're new to this, let me just briefly explain what it is. What it is the concept of doing your visualization work and visualizing yourself from your desire, not of your desire, but from your desire, really going into the scene, going into your imagination, but doing this in that time where you're falling asleep or you're waking up, a state akin to sleep. Remember, if you can imagine it, if you desire it, if you want it, it is real, and that means it exists. So another way to look at this is everything exists. It's happening all in a now moment. There's just various timelines and you're just activating it with your focus. And not just your focus, right? But your imagination persistence, as Neville talks about. But here's the thing that I really want to break down today. What is this formula? Really think about it. A lot of us in the Neville Goddard world, in the world of law of assumption, or even law of attraction with Abraham Hicks, whatever world you're coming from when it comes to conscious creation, we are really, in our mind a lot of times about these concepts. We understand the concepts. We read about the concepts. We watch videos on the concepts, but our life doesn't change. And then we say it doesn't work. Manifestation doesn't work, right? But what we're not recognizing is we don't actually know the true formula of how to do this. And so today I am going to read to you a very small paragraph that I found in Neville's book that I truly believe is the secret to this manifestation thing. Okay, I'm going to read it. In the beginning, when it says the phrase mental journeys, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about SATS. This was a section in his book where he was talking about SATS and imagination, a state akin to sleep right before you go to bed. Okay, going into the scene, activating the scene. Obviously, you need to know what you want first, then decide the scene, decide, this future moment of the scene, right? And then you're going to put that on in your state akin to sleep, okay? So this is what he says. Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to read it. So it's exactly Neville's words. Here we go. In these mental journeys, an emotional continuity must be sustained. The emotion of fulfilled desire, expectancy, and desire were so intensely joined that they passed at once from a mental state into a physical act. So I want to highlight two very important things to this formula. The first thing is emotional continuity. Now, our words are very limiting to explain things, but I want to organize the words first because I want you to recognize that the paintbrush, the tools that you're using for conscious creation are your internal landscape, and there's two things in there. There's your thought about something and there's your feeling about something, okay? Thought, feeling. When I'm using the word mindset or emotion, the way I see those words, I think those words encompass both thought and feeling. So for example, mindset, it's more weighted in the thought of it, but your mindset is kind of your set point, and it is your vibrational set point as well, right? Your emotions or your feelings, if you will. So feelings and thoughts are, to me, are under the umbrella of the word mindset. And feelings and thoughts are also under the umbrella of the word emotion, because emotion is energy in motion. And that energy in motion isn't just the feeling. The thought produced the feeling and then produced the energy emotion. So I feel that the energy emotion piece of it, the emotion, is actually the full motion into the result, into the manifestation, okay? The reason why I'm saying that, the reason why that's so important is because you need to understand that emotional continuity is the continuous nature of these thoughts and feelings. It's not just your feelings when you hear the word emotion, right? It's the continuity, the consistency, the daily consistency, and the compound effect of your internal landscape, your emotions, your thoughts and feelings on repeat. He says it must be sustained. I truly believe this is the reason why most people have trouble with conscious creation. We obviously are always in a state, right? We're always in some state, and we're always exuding a vibration, a frequency, and we're always at every single moment as consciousness in human form, we're constantly manifesting, right? So it's not like you're not manifesting or you are manifesting, but I'm talking about intentional, conscious manifesting where we're getting the result of what we want, right? And so that's the reason why this is so hard, because most people that are really doing this right have somehow found the surf vibe. Okay, so think about a surfer with a wave. This is kind of the analogy that's coming to my brain right now. I want you to picture two surfers. One surfer is a pro surfer. He knows how to get in there into the ocean, get the wave right, get on the board, balance himself, and ride the wave, right? The momentum's there, the wave is there, but he is just very wise and very skilled in getting on there, right? Onto the momentum of the wave. Whereas a new surfer has no idea how to do that. They have no idea how to capture the wave, when to enter the wave, when to get on the board, how to stabilize the board. And that really is the difference between the conscious manifestor who's just winning and just constantly manifesting stuff, and the unconscious, or I should say the conscious manifestor who's trying. Because a lot of us we are conscious. We're just trying and it's not working, and we're trying and it's not working. And that's another reason why I love this channel that I'm creating, because I'm in the boat with you. Like, I am trying to figure this out. I'm on the surfboard with you, my friends. I am trying to figure this out. And I am so much, there have been moments where I've really been that skilled surfer, if you will, and I've manifested a lot of things in my life. But when it comes to some bigger topics that I'm still just desiring, I am that surfer who doesn't know what she's doing half the time, right? But I think this is the secret, how to get the sustainability and how to create the compound. The second piece to this is the word expectancy and the word desire. He says in this sentence, he says they were so intensely joined. They were so intensely joined. We have to marry really strong expectancy with our desire. Now, here's the thing. A lot of us have a very strong desire with a limited expectancy. And this is because we have manifested. And we still desire, and the desire is getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, but we've completely lost expectancy because we just look around and we say, it's not working. And half the time we're probably saying that thought. So this is where faith comes in. This is where your light team comes in. This is where God the Father comes in, the Holy Spirit comes in, Jesus comes in. I call it my light team. I like to call it my light team because I believe it's angels and it's loved ones on the other side, and it's Jesus and it's God, and it's literally my literal team of light on the other side. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not, if we could rate faith, I'm not at 100% of faith. But prior to inviting Jesus in on my own, to create my own relationship with Jesus, not from a religious perspective, but my own relationship with Jesus, for me, I'm about to celebrate 7 years with my walk with the Lord. Okay. And that relationship did enhance my faith, right? So I probably went from like a 20 to 30% of expectancy to maybe a 70 or 80%. I'm not at 100, but every single day I'm growing in that faith. I'm growing in that expectancy. And that is the piece that a lot of us are also missing, is we think we have to rely on our own strength. But a lot of times getting the expectancy to merge and unite with the desire and get it to the level that it needs to be at to be merged and united is really about prayer. And I know in the Neville communities, a lot of people look at prayer because Neville has talked about it in his book. He'll talk about an outside God that we give all our power to. And so we don't want to see this as a prayer of neediness that, oh, help me, because we can't do it on our own. No, we're just saying, no, I can do it on my own. And I am working on my thoughts, and I am shifting my internal landscape, and I'm shifting my self-concept, and I'm doing that work. But I surrender to you as well. To give me more faith, praying for more faith, right? Because we have to get that expectancy to reach the desire. And once those two are completely joined, then we can produce the physical version of it. But the key is we're not just doing that once. That's why it's so hard. We gotta have that sustainability, that emotional continuity. That journeying, that mental journeying in the SATs, state akin to sleep, that mental journeying needs to be aligned with expectancy and desire, strong and excited, like we're doing it like, let's say you're doing it on a Monday night, okay? You do it on a Monday night and you're like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Continually keeping that consistent. That is the hardest part. And that is why my channel is called Sexy Fit Love, by the way, because sexy is our vision. It is the feelingization. It is the mental journeying, right? Sexy, fit is the daily habits. That is the continuity, right? Maybe your continuity isn't continuing. Is that a word? Isn't consistent because you're not a high performer and you're miserable in your life, right? Maybe you're eating foods that are making you sluggish and maybe you're not getting enough sleep, right? Our habits, our fitness is where we're going to create that continuity. And then the love piece is the commitment. That is how we stick to it. We make it continuous because we have the daily habits to make it so, and we have the commitment to never give up and do it every single day, right? So it's all of this layered on top of each other over time. And that, I think, is why most people have such trouble doing this. Now, I will say this last piece. In the analogy of the surfers, I will say this last piece because I think this is key. Once we get that, it's kind of like going to the gym. When you go to the gym, a lot of analogies today. When you're going to the gym, that first 2 to 3 weeks of going to the gym is rough when you've been out of your routine. But once you have a routine to go to the gym, it's very natural. It's almost like driving to work every day. And you almost like don't know you're doing it because it goes on autopilot. Same with brushing your teeth, right? So when you do this consistently over, like, let's just pretend it's 21 days. It's going to be different for everyone, right? A consistent practice of what I'm saying, right? So let me say it again. Going into the sats, the mental journey, and getting into that emotion, energy emotion, which means getting into the scene, thinking the thoughts that you're going to be thinking in the scene, getting the feelings that those thoughts are going to be producing or the feelings you're going to have in that scene. That is the energy emotion. And doing that every single night, every single week. Maybe it's not every single day, but at least every single week, okay? Sustaining that over time. And while you're sustaining it, staying in the expectancy, staying in the faith that this is done, this is done, this is done, and getting it to increase to the level of your desire. Now, obviously, if you're manifesting a bologna sandwich versus the love of your life, it's going to be a very different level of desire, right? A bologna sandwich, you might have like a desire of 2, like out of 1 out of 10. It's a 2, right? But the love of your life might be an 11. That's why it can be so extreme when the expectancy, when it comes to like something like that, the 11 is the desire, but the expectancy is like -1 because you're like, I don't believe it's going to happen, right? So this is what needs to occur. Now, for you, it's going to be 21 days. For someone else, it could be 3 months of consistency, right? But there's going to come a moment where it's going to compound and the momentum of doing it is going to come in and you're going to be able to get it on autopilot. That's why there are people out there in the law of attraction and manifesting worlds that are just effortlessly just manifesting everything they want because they've gotten to that level of momentum, right? Where it's an autopilot thing and their consciousness, their subconsciousness, that's really what it is. It's the subconscious that is like, okay, we've got this. We're in the good loop now, right? For some of us, like me, we have a lot of trauma. We have a lot of moments of it never working out, right? And so there's a subconscious loop of there's no expectancy, right? And then you get tired and exhausted and you don't want to be sustaining it, right? So just know that it might take some diligence and more disciplines in the beginning of your practice. So stay tuned for my Thursday video when I really dive into more of how we can do this, more of the techniques of things. If you love this video, please make sure to subscribe, comment below, let me know what you loved, any questions that you have, any videos you want me to do, and please make sure to go to my website, justjfo.com, to check out more about me. I also have another channel, Destiny Vibes with JFO, where I talk about your hero's journey roadmap and the character and movie that you decided to play in this life experience. This is the channel where we talk about our conscious shifting of states. That's the channel where we talk about your character and your movie script and so much more, so you can customize all of this. But if you want to go deeper, for only $33, you can get my mindset bundle. It's so fun. And you're going to get a group basically with me in there where you can ask questions and you could do this journeying together with me. It's only $33. So go below, click the mindset fix, join the whole entire experience, and I'll catch you in my next video.